Back up. Get out here right now. Get out here.
Get on the ground.
No.
In Idaho Springs, Colorado, that 75-year-old man is unarmed and standing in his own apartment.
They hit that wall so hard, I thought they were going to come through the wall.
What you gonna?
Okay.
Now, Idaho Springs reaches $7 million settlement after police used taser on 75-year-old man. Michael Clark was seriously injured after former Idaho Springs police officer Nicholas Hanning hit him with a taser without warning. The settlement stems from a federal lawsuit Clark filed. In the middle of the night on May 30th, 2021, Brittany Odom called the Idaho Springs Police. She claimed the man in the apartment next door, 75-year-old Michael Clark, had banged on their shared wall to tell her to keep the noise down.
Brittany. That was the neighbor right there.
And that he had then punched her in the face.
Wait. This is Brittany.
And knocked her the F out.
I live here. This is my friend Brittany. And then this is
Idaho Springs Police Department officers Nick Hanning and Ellie Summers responded.
I literally just saw you.
Banged on the door, or through the wall. Bam, bam, bam. And I'm sleeping. Shut the f*** up. And so I came out and was like, what's going on? He busted all of my shit. My nose, my mouth.
However, Odom had no visible injuries. And there was not a drop of blood anywhere.
Serving you, and he was like, shut the f*** up. Boom.
By most accounts, she was extremely drunk.
The white, black, Hispanic.
He's white.
Does he have hair?
Yeah.
Bald?
Gray hair?
There were no witnesses.
He's an older guy. He's maybe about this tall.
Okay.
That guy lives right there in that room. And that's where the wall would go.
And he was
seen him
bang,
before.
bang, bang. That's what woke me up.
We just
They talked to Brittany for 1 minute and 35 seconds.
Okay.
After completing their 95-second investigation and never identifying themselves as police officers, they went and did this.
What do you want? What the f***?
What's going on over there?
Put it down, mother.
Put it down!
Clark had grabbed his shark-mouth Hawaiian sword to defend himself. He put it down, complying with police demands.
Back up. Get out here right now. Get out here.
Get on the ground!
No. They hit that wall so hard, I thought they were going to come through the wall.
What you gonna?
Okay. Party's unconscious.
Shit.
207 taser deployed. Party came out with a machete.
Actually, he had put the sword down, but the cops tased him anyway. Michael Clark was struggling to breathe when Officer Fanning used a knee restraint that has caused death.
Alright, okay.
While the police waited for Michael Clark to regain consciousness,
Sir.
Officer Hanning went and took care of more important things.
Talk to me.
Like moving Michael's sword from up on the shelf inside his home and bringing it out into the hallway.
That big bat that he's holding. That looks like a freaking...
Where did you find that? Did you have to hunt for it?
It was laying right there on the ground when I walked in.
Alright.
I did not get that down.
Not arguing with you.
I did not get that down.
Alright.
We're gonna sit up.
I did not get that down.
I'm gonna go down with you.
It was on.
You want him out of
top
cuffs
up there.
up here?
Okay. Did you go in my apartment and look for weapons?
Mr. Clark, you gotta sit up.
Did you look in my apartment and look for weapons?
We don't need, they don't need to look at the apartment. It was here in the hallway.
At this point, Michael Clark still has no idea that he's accused of assaulting another person.
What is going on? I've done nothing wrong. What did I do?
What's that?
What did I do?
You punched that girl.
Huh?
Punched that girl and then answered
No, I
the door
did
with a freaking machete, man.
not. Oh, no, that is absolutely false.
All right,
Okay.
we're gonna stand you up.
I did not come after nobody.
Okay, you're dealing with me now. We're gonna go down to the ambulance so I can.
I was just in bed.
Clark was taken to the hospital where, as a result of being tased and hitting his head, he suffered a stroke, causing permanent cognitive impairments and permanent loss of his independence. As for Brittany Odom, the seemingly drunk woman who called police,
After I got knocked out my face.
if the officers had spent a few seconds checking her name and record, they would have discovered some credibility issues. In Florida in 2016, she was convicted of fraud for lying to police. In 2011, she was charged with felony aggravated domestic assault. And in 2012, she was charged with attempted murder of her own husband. According to public records, Officer Nicholas Hanning was fired by the Idaho Springs Police Department and was charged with third-degree assault on an at-risk person. Hanning pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor assault under a deal in which he agreed he would never work in Colorado as a police officer again. That's right, for a promise not to work again as a Colorado cop, Hanning got a misdemeanor. As for Officer Ellie Summers, she was disciplined and no longer works for the city. In a statement, the city of Idaho Springs noted the settlement with Michael Clark does not admit liability on behalf of the city, but was reached, quote, for economic reasons and to bring closure to all involved. The city hopes that the settlement can bring some peace of mind to Mr. Clark and his family, and that the monies paid towards settlement will be available to cover any and all medical needs Mr. Clark may have moving forward. Clark's daughter says she has mixed emotions about the settlement. Quote, most people would expect us to say that we are happy and excited about this. We would be most happy if he could have his old life back. Indeed, as a result of police breaking the law, trampling on the Constitution, and tasing an unarmed 75-year-old man, that man who was independent before this incident can no longer drive or cook for himself. He has to get around in a wheelchair. According to attorneys in the state of Colorado, the settlement of $7 million is the largest in Colorado history for a civil rights case not involving wrongful death. I suppose the city of Idaho Springs deserves some credit for settling this case in a way that will make sure Michael Clark gets the care and support he will need for the rest of his life. Still, those two police officers, Nicholas Hanning and Ellie Summers, they clearly should have never been on the police force to begin with. They were tyrants and loose cannons who went off and cost their city dearly. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.